Hello, hello, hi, folks. Welcome. Happy Friday. In hopes that you squeezed more out of your day than the day squeezed out of you. Welcome. Good to see you if you're joining me live. And if you're catching the replay, I appreciate you. Have an interesting topic for you tonight. There's just so much going on, especially okay, so I don't know if you follow the news. Well, I don't follow the news, but this is everywhere. I really honestly cannot even avoid it, even if I wanted to. But there's this whole thing going on with women's rights in Iran, and I don't want to get into it. I don't do politics, but there's a lot of sadness and sorrow going around in the world, and you don't have to be Persian to like notice that. Like right now, about 5 minutes from where I live, there's thousands of people in the streets trying to raise awareness for the women's rights in Iran. Right now, again, I don't do politics. I don't speak politics. I don't do politics, okay? But this is, like I said, it's kind of difficult to avoid it even if I wanted to. It's 5 minutes from where I live. So this is like everywhere is going on. But what I'm saying is you don't need to be Persian to see that there's so much sadness and sorrow going around in the world. Like around in the world, you know what I mean? People are complaining, people are sad, people are ready to snap. Have you noticed that? People are ready to snap. I know there have been occasions where I've been ready to snap, and I am going to admit it. But just like a lot of people are short fused, they're under pressure. A lot of folks are laid off, or maybe hours are cut back, or they're back to work, but the money isn't there and the expenses are higher and the stress, and now you got Corona baby. It's real talk. You got Corona baby right now, and 1 year, 2 years old, and expenses. So people are ready to snap. People are having a difficult time, right? By the way, I gotta plug this in. I just remembered. If you didn't watch my live from last night, well, for those of you who watched, and those of you who have sent me text messages and chats, thank you. I know that was yeah, I mean, I went really deep and I shared some stuff. So for those of you who watched it, I really appreciate you. I really appreciate you for all the feedback, for all the love you give me. Thank you. I appreciate you. Wanted to let you know that it was a longer live, but I had to stop a couple times. I got emotional. I was pouring out my heart, and shared some stuff from my childhood that I've never shared before. So it just anyway, if you want to, you can check that out. If you can't find it, you can drop a comment here below, here somewhere, and then I will send you the link. So back to tonight. The sorrows, the sadness, just all the stuff that's going on. It's almost doesn't it feel exhausting? Like you step out into the real world, you open the front door, you step out in the real world, and it's like you step in your car, you go to the first stop, and it's like, oh, there's just so much stuff going on, right? So how do you deal with that stuff? How do you deal with all this sadness and sorrows and everything else, right? Well, this answer may surprise you. So Joseph Campbell If you're joining me live, let me know you're here. I see the eyeball keep going on and off, and I don't know who's here, who's not here, who stayed here, who didn't stay here. So let me know. It would be nice. So Joseph Campbell, he was an American writer, 1904 to 1987. And he had a quote that it so applies to today's world and what's going on with all the stuff around us, right? It so applies. And he says, participate joyfully in the sorrows of the world. We cannot cure the world of sorrows, but we can choose to live in joy. Let me repeat that. Participate joyfully in the sorrows of the world. We cannot cure the world of sorrows, but we can choose to live in joy. Now, when you reread that and listen to that and kind of repeat that in your head, it'll make a lot more sense. Participate joyfully in the sorrows of the world. We cannot cure the world of sorrows, but we can choose to live in joy. And it's so powerful, right? Because so what it's basically saying is that, now I'm going to pause there because I know what you're thinking, because that's where my brain went to first. Participate joyfully in the sorrows of the world. That kind of sounds like not so cool, right? Imagine you show up to a sorrow of the world and you're all like, hey, you know, probably not very nice, right? We cannot cure the world of the sorrows, but we can choose to live in joy. It's the sorrows and the sadnesses that bring us together. See, it's all the sadness and sorrows that brings people together, and they do big things. It's because of the hardships and the sadness and the sorrows that people just do amazing things. People become movers and shakers of the world. They impact the world, and they are talked about generations after generations. It's because of those sadness and those sorrows. Martin Luther King. Do you think he was like a happy, jolly kid? Had it all? No. So because of all that pain and all that sadness and the sorrow that he exploded, you got to participate joyfully in the sorrows, because we can give in and we can be sorrow in a sorrow situation, right? But we can show up joyfully in that same situation. The situation doesn't change. It's still sorrow. You choose to show up differently. That's all it is. Doesn't mean you deny the sorrow. It doesn't mean you're putting it under the rug. It doesn't mean that you're discrediting what's going on. It does not mean that. The unity, the revolutions, the things that have happened has been because of the pain and the sadness and the sorrows people have come together. You got to participate in that joyfully. I know that's a tough one because I had to work with that, right? But maybe that's why I get ridiculed and cussed out and blocked. I talked about it last night in my live. Um, Yesterday I got cussed out and blocked by 2 people. It hadn't happened for a while, but it did. Okay, so right, you gotta welcome that stuff. You gotta be joyful in that, and maybe, like I said, maybe that's the reason why, right? But I have had to work with that on me. And I'm a constant, I'm a work in progress. I'm a mess. I have been a mess. I'm working on myself and I'm improving. But, you got to participate joyfully in the sorrows of the world. Otherwise, I've talked about, I've had 7 surgeries. Every time I've gone to a surgery or even to a doctor's appointment, but let's talk about surgery. Every time I go to a surgery and, they change me and then, they're about to, bam. As soon as I'm changed and I lay in the bed, I make everybody laugh. Like I do my best to just bust everybody up until I literally am passed out. I do that every single time. I've done that 7 times. Well, 6 times. Because the first time I was 2 years old. I don't remember. But every time. And you know why? Because why the heck would I have somebody with a knife above me who's about to cut me open in a bad mood? Why would I participate in that little sorrow with like, oh, fuck, I really hate to be here. Do you hate to be here? You know what I mean? It's like, I don't even think about that stuff. I make them laugh. I joke. I on the way there, I'm listening to something that's funny. It's been my style so far. With anything, not just like that, not just surgery. What I'm saying is, you gotta participate joyfully in that stuff. Otherwise, it's like you're gonna get in there and it's like quicksand. You're just gonna go down and you can't catch anything. It's bad. So participate joyfully. You can change the world. You can impact the world if you can participate joyfully in the sorrows of the world. Let that sink in. That stuff is deep. And if you got a different feedback or a different takeaway, drop it in the comments below. Let this feed grow. I appreciate you guys. Hopefully you guys get some love, some inspiration, some value. I have a big surprise for you guys. I'll release that tomorrow. I'm not ready to do it today. I'll do it tomorrow. And hopefully, again, you guys got some love, some inspiration, some value. It came to my mind for a second to share it. I'm like, I won't. But it's exciting stuff. Oh, exciting stuff. Real exciting stuff. So, been working all day. So tomorrow, I will let you know that. But participate joyfully in the sorrows of the world. I love that. I love that. That's so good. You cannot cure the world. I'll repeat it. You cannot cure the world of the sorrows, but you can choose. Choose. I love it. To live in joy. I hope you got some love, some inspiration, some value. I appreciate you guys. Drop your thoughts, your comments below. If you have sent me a text or a chat in reference to my last night's live, many of you have. Many of you watched the whole thing. I was actually really surprised because it was kind of longer, but so yeah, that stuff is for real, man. Why would I make that stuff up? And that's just like just a little bit, not a whole lot. So anyway, if you send me a message or anything, I'm a little behind today, I admit. I'm really getting better at this. That's one thing I'm really working on, my time management, because it used to suck really bad. At least I like suck bad now. You know what I mean? I'm like a little better than really bad. But anyway, I will get back to you tomorrow for sure. We got another big day tomorrow. And oh man, I'm so excited. I'll share with you what I got going on tomorrow. And with that, until tomorrow, when we do it all over again. Much love.